Thought I'd make you a little video. So here's the unit with the cover off. Basically, it just got a little box with a filter on it there that I cut a hole in. And then here's basically like your little vent open for winter. This is on the return side of the furnace. And then that just goes up to the supply. So the air basically just comes off the supply, goes down through the unit, and then into the return air. It's just got a little drain tube that goes down, and I just drained it into the furnace. I'll probably tie that into the evaporative line there at some point. But that just goes onto there. And then the water line, I just tapped in one of those like ice maker water lines to the hot water line. And then these wires here, I ran them through, and on the other side, I've got the thermostat. This is wired up to a temperature sensor that goes outside, and then it wires into the unit, and then a couple wires come down and wire into the blower control on the furnace there. So when the blower kicks on, that kicks on, and then I can just set this, humidity wise where I want it. 2 seems to be pretty good. It's sitting at 30% now. It was at like almost 40, but the windows were getting kind of foggy, so. But that unit's pretty easy. You can turn it on here so that I've got it off, but if it's on, it'll kick the blower on just to humidify without the furnace running. But it seemed like it ran a lot, so I just set it to off. So it only runs when the furnace is actually on. And then this had to be wired up to a power supply with the transformer. So I just wired it into the switch for the furnace power. So it just comes off of there, runs into that. I might get some more low voltage wire. It does require, I ended up getting like 20 feet of low voltage just to wire from there up, and for the little thermostat to the outside. That thermostat goes, follows a pipe and just goes to the outside of the house. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Just a little box with a filter. I've had it running for like a month or so, and that's pretty much what the filter looks like. So I would say probably by next year when I run it again, it'll need another one. In the summer, I'll just turn the unit off for the water and then shut this so that the supply doesn't blow in. But this was after watching a lot of videos and reading up on it. This was the best way to do it, I guess. Use a hot water supply and put it on the return side. That way the supply air is forced through the unit into the return and kind of pulled in. You can put it on either or. From what I read, it doesn't really matter. But in my situation, I didn't want to tie into the plenum because that's where the evap coil is, so I would have had to stick it like way up there. So it was just easier to put it on the return. Pretty simple. I mean, cut a hole, screw it on. There's like a screw like here, and then here, and here, and here. So it's a couple little 1-inch self-tapping screws. I caulked around it a little bit. And then like a 6-foot little flex duct pipe. So I'd kind of like tape this on. It kind of like just sticks in through the inside there. Nothing too hard. The wiring was probably the most confusing, but it wasn't real bad either. So that's pretty much what the 500 series unit was. And then take your little cover. It just clips on. If I can do it while holding the phone. So So that just pops on, sits like that. Pretty easy. If you want to make it nice and clean, I'd get probably like 50 feet of that low voltage. It's just low voltage thermostat wire, like a five wire in one. See in there, it's kicking on. But yeah, I'd get like 50 feet of that just so you got plenty to like smoothly run all the wires to the thermostat. I was gonna put the thermostat up there, but since I had to tie it into an electrical box, I ended up just putting it on the other side where the switch was. But yeah, works really good.